What if the global financial system, the one that underpins every paycheck, every savings account, and every pension has reached a point where recovery is no longer guaranteed, a point where traditional fixes fail, debt spirals beyond control, and entire nations could collapse under the weight of their own money? Today, we're diving into the hidden mechanics of the world money crisis, tracing its origins, its rise, and the exact moment we may have crossed the point of no return. To understand today's crisis, we have to travel back in time. Money wasn't always digital, abstract, or global. Ancient civilizations relied on silver, grain, or other tangible goods. The first real leap toward a modern financial system came in medieval Europe, where merchant families like the Medici and Fuggers pioneered banking, credit, and early forms of central control. The lesson they left behind: money is more than a shoeless power, and control over money can shape empires, fuel wars, and even dictate who survives crises. But for centuries, the system had at least one check: tangible value, like gold, that limited, reckless expansion. Everything changed in 1971. President Nixon closed the gold window, ending the Bretton Woods system and making the US dollar a fiat currency money backed not by gold, but by collective trust. At first, it seemed like freedom. Governments could issue currency to fund development, crises, or wars without immediate constraint. But freedom without restraint is dangerous. Over the next decades, global debt surged. Inflation crept into every corner of the world economy. And crises like the 2008 financial meltdown revealed the fragility of the system. The underlying problem: money had become untethered from reality, and trust alone was insufficient to sustain it. Now, let's examine the anatomy of today's crisis. Global debt has surpassed $300 trillion. Central banks are trapped in a cycle of quantitative easing, pumping trillions into the system with diminishing returns. Inflation rates swing unpredictably. Housing markets bubble and burst, and currencies fluctuate in ways that would have been unthinkable just decades ago. Attempts to patch the system, like cryptocurrency, special drawing rights, or temporary bailouts, are failing to address the root cause. Money itself has become a fragile social construct, stretched to the breaking point by centuries of debt, policy, and human behavior. And here is the most alarming part: patterns from past crises are repeating with uncanny precision. Each cycle follows the same trajectory. Innovation in finance, unchecked credit expansion, a tipping point, and a collapse that disproportionately punishes the most vulnerable. The difference now: scale. The stakes are higher than ever. We may have already crossed the point of no return, where minor shocks could trigger cascading failures across nations. So, what does this mean for you? And what can we learn? 3 critical takeaways. Trust is the invisible backbone of money. When trust breaks, the system collapses, regardless of policies or printouts. Debt is a ticking time bomb. Global indebtedness has reached levels where traditional remedies are ineffective. Cycles repeat and consequences compound. Every financial lie, overextension, or extempore fix is building toward a larger systemic failure. The world money crisis is not just an economic story, it's a warning about human behavior, systemic fragility, and the illusions we cling to for comfort. Whether we recover, adapt, or descend into chaos depends on choices being made right now by governments, institutions, and individuals alike. History has shown that ignoring these warning signs is costly. The point of no return isn't just theoretical, it could already be here. If you want to understand the forces shaping money, power, and survival in the 21st century, subscribe and turn on notifications. The next chapter of this story is already unfolding, and being informed is the first step toward navigating it safely.